Currently, I'm reading the book System Design Interview just to learn more about software architecture and design patterns that are used in larger companies or even things that might be asked in an interview, just so I can keep learning as a developer. And one of the topics in the beginning of the book is rate limiters. Inside of the book, there are a couple of algorithms that I'm hoping to make more videos about, but I figured I would implement the first one in the book and make a video about it, and then potentially make future videos about the other algorithms. This algorithm is the token bucket algorithm, as referenced in the book. The token bucket algorithm works somewhat like the name says. You can envision a bucket, and that will hold a group of requests, whether that's all the requests throughout your application in total, or you can organize them to be based off of IP addresses or endpoint, like assuming they call this home page, or if they call another endpoint, you can make that become a bucket as well. So a bucket is just a way that you're going to organize how you want to organize the requests. And then the tokens are every request. So every request coming in will be considered a token. And the idea behind this algorithm is your bucket can only hold so many requests at one time before it overflows. And when it overflows, as you can see here, you just respond with a 429 error, too many requests to the same endpoint. Two parameters that the token bucket takes in are the bucket size and the rate at which it refills. So here I will allow 75 requests before I throw any too many request errors, and I will refill 10 requests a second. My implementation of the algorithm is a little different than what the book says, as I'm almost consistently refilling the tokens to add, so I'm not necessarily adding a complete token, but if there's not enough space for one token to be taken, then it will return false anyway. So what are the pros of this algorithm? For one, the implementation is quite simple, at least the baseline. As you can see, it's only 30 lines. Really could be a lot less depending on how complex you want it to be. You just create different buckets and stuff like that. That way you can organize your requests. Another good thing is it's memory efficient, as we're not having to store every request. We just look at it. Is there enough room? Yes or no. If there is, we send it along on its way. Otherwise, we return false and say, sorry, not enough room. Another con is it might be difficult to get these numbers right, the capacity and the fill rate, especially if, let's say, your endpoint is really popular around noon. Let's say your website is for your restaurant. So a lot of people want to pull up the menu at noon, but around the rest of the day, you don't have too many visits. It might be hard to get that token bucket correct, the fill rate correctly, or even the capacity correctly. Because either one of those, you might be falsely rate limiting potential customers. Of course, you can always change the buckets as well, but that's just another thing that would have to change. So within the book, it talks about other algorithms you can use, and like one of them is the leaky bucket algorithm that kind of builds off this one. And it uses a queue where it will store all the requests, and then once the queue is full, it will send out all the requests. That might be good on a more established application where a lot of people are using your site, so you'll probably get 100 to 1,000 requests a second. So a queue could be good there. You can limit all the other ones. But if you're using just a side project, a web app, a queue might not be the best, as you might have to wait an unnecessary amount of time for your response. For those that don't want to build a rate limiter themselves, there is a node package called Rate Limiter Flexible. Rate Limiter Flexible will do a lot of this for you. The documentation is really good on the Node website. I'll have it linked. And it will just allow you to get your website up and running a lot faster without having to worry about this type of work. I know a lot of the times when you're making a new app, you want to focus on building the app, not so much focus on all the setup. So this will help speed that up if you're worried about potential denial of service attacks or DDoS attacks as well. I know this has been a short video, but I'm just trying to get in the habit of making more videos. So feel free to leave a comment on other algorithms you might like me to explain or explore. Perhaps I can make another video explaining more in depth the specific algorithm itself, the token book algorithm. But yeah, that's it.